Kids are digging right into fresh vegetables in the community gardens at Fort Hood near Killeen.
Fort Hood Family Housing is the privatized housing here on Fort Hood. We run over 5,000 housing units and responsible for all of the living communities here on post. We turn over 50% of the residents in our housing per year. So that tells you the volume of children and military personnel that come through this post. For some of these kids, they've lived in inner city, never knew what a garden looked like.
I was a child the other day that had a cherry tomato in front of him, but the only tomatoes he had ever seen was in a slice on a burger. So he didn't know that that was a tomato. So he ate it and said, "Thank you, can I have another one?"
I think it's a great educational tool for the kiddos. It's a place for folks to come and gather, unwind a little bit, do something with their hands, get outside. So it's just a community effort to get folks connected.
It was previously a garden where each family had their own plots, and those were completely tilled down to the dirt, and we built the community garden so that everybody helps with everything.
Like all 4 community gardens, this one's a team effort. Maintenance staff, community donors, volunteers, families, and the Lend-Lease Community Fund.
And they provide us with funds to manage the program and for some of the materials as well. So all those seeds are donated. A lot of the planting beds and materials are donated by various vendors.
Farmers Assisting Returning Military, co-founded by veterans James Jeffers and Steve Smith, returned to Fort Hood to help.
We run a agricultural training farm up in DeSoto, Texas, just outside of Dallas. We use dirt therapy, recreational therapy, and a multifaceted trauma resolution therapy that helps integrate veterans, but also it creates a peer-to-peer environment where they can kind of just gather.
We all serve in the same unit. They started this, it was because we had lost, to date we've lost 10 to suicide so far, and that's just from our unit alone. We served, James and I served 2 tours together. James and Steve actually met as we were coming in, he was coming out from serving in Kuwait, and we were going into Iraq. So we need to do something to help our veterans. So we want to try to bring them in and give them this opportunity to work on the farm. That dirt is very healing.
Growing food together does more than put organic freshness on the plate.
From not only eating the healthier foods, but learning more about it and teaching your kids how to eat healthy and teaching your kids how to grow their own food.
And what better way to get soldiers to teach their kids and their families involved? It's a way to bring that family together into a community garden like this where they can get together and start spending more time together. Between deployments and train up for deployments, we know soldiers have very little time with their family.
I've never gardened before. It was something I wanted to get the kids into to be a part of the community. I think community involvement is extremely important. So we just kind of picked this as our thing to do as a family. We try to get them to do most of the planting. They enjoy digging in the dirt. So they get really excited when we hand them a little shovel and they get to dig down and cover it up. So I think one of the biggest things with Riley is that she got to plant the seeds, she got to water it and watch it grow, and then she got to eat it, and she was just so excited.
Girl Scouts built little beds for this year's carrots, and Bell County Master Gardeners pitched in.
We recommended the flowers and the vegetables and trees that go good in this area. And so then we put our plan on paper, and these people just did an amazing job. It is just beautiful. They put in an underground water system, and they have harvested pounds and pounds of produce. And they leave it on the table, and everybody on post is welcome to come by and pick up fresh produce. They have turned this not only into a garden for produce, but people from all over post meet here. And they have different activities here. And the youngsters are meeting here, having little garden parties and learning.
The Master Gardeners well know why we add flowers to our food gardens.
A lot of times our vegetables look pretty shoddy when it gets really hot in August. And when we have these flowers, it just enhances it and it makes it pleasant. It attracts bees. And it attracts hummingbirds, and it attracts all of our pollinators. And without our pollinators, we don't have anything to grow.
Since pesticides are banned, parents know their kids can safely chow down.
She can wander the garden without me worrying. She's learning that you can't put mulch in your mouth, but and she knows she can go and pick the produce and put it in her mouth, and it's not something I have to worry about.
Participants in the garden come and harvest. However, anyone can get the food. A lot of times we'll put the food out on this table, for example, and it's available for anyone to come by and get it. The folks who work here, the children who manage this and do this, they're the ones that get first right, if you will, but it is open to anybody.
So I started with feeding my family, and now we want to feed our country. And since the average age of the farmer is somewhere in the 60s, who's going to grow our food? Mexico? China? We have to create food security here. So the next mission for the veteran coming home is to grow food for our country.